Now on CoastTV News.
Sea-Witch crackdown, new rules on Rehoboth Avenue, the city planning to clear out cars ahead of the festival.
Tariff troubles.
It's a tough road ahead.
Higher costs are coming, how new tariffs are hitting home, impacting everything from light fixtures to kitchen appliances.
Inlet reopens.
They did a really nice job. It's perfect.
The north side of the Indian River Inlet is fully back open.
This is CoastTV News at 6.
Rehoboth Beach drawbridge repairs planned. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 6. We begin tonight with changes to the main road into Rehoboth Beach.
Right now, DelDOT is informing the city on what it plans for the bridge and how that will take weeks to do. Coast TV News reporter Brendan Conroy live there in Rehoboth. Brendan, this would focus on repainting the bridge in steel to prevent corrosion.
Maddie, I'm here at the convention center where the meeting was taking place. It just wrapped up a few moments ago, and I want to show you on your screen now what the current state of that bridge looks like over in Rehoboth. As you can see, it is a bridge that's used frequently, and DelDOT says this needs some structural work to prevent corrosion. Tonight's meeting covered why that work was needed and how it would affect both drivers and boaters. I had the chance to speak with someone who lives in Rehoboth and uses the drawbridge. He tells me if there's any work that can be done to the nation's summer capital, then he supports it.
I really believe in infrastructure improvement because everybody benefits, whether you're driving, biking, or on a scooter. It's important, and it helps increase tourism as well, right? Tourism is big, for Rehoboth.
DelDOT says if this project wasn't completed, it could be anywhere between 7 to 9 years, that's their estimate, before any major structural work would be needed. This project is to avoid any of that happening. Reporting live in Rehoboth, Brendan Conroy, Coast TV News.
And the project is expected to take about 10 weeks to complete. Now, when? Well, they're going to wait till October 2025 and April 2026. So drivers and boaters, because it's a drawbridge, just get ready for delays, detours, and of course, traffic.
The Sea-Witch Festival in Rehoboth Beach, it is one of the largest events on Delmarva. It brings thousands of people. You may have been yourself. And new tonight, commissioners have voted to forbid overnight parking the Thursday before the parade. Coast TV reporter Zakia Jennings shows us how local businesses are feeling after fighting for their parking spaces the week of the parade.
It's only April, but it is packed in Rehoboth Beach. It only gets busier during the annual Sea-Witch Festival. The city wants to prevent people from parking in front of businesses days ahead of the parade.
It'll be nice to not have people parked all week long in front of everyone's business in Rehoboth Avenue. That would be nice.
That's why starting this year, you'll have to move your car the Thursday before Sea-Witch. The city is hoping to stop tailgaters who leave their car for the whole week, forcing them to leave Thursday night. The city manager tells Coast TV cars would be able to come back Friday morning starting at 6 a.m. and you can leave your car after that. Stephen Fallon, who owns Gadgets, thinks this makes sense.
I know logistically it kind of interferes with the people doing the work, but stores are open, restaurants are open, so it is business as usual on that day.
Mark Hamilton isn't sure how the Thursday night parking ban will play out the entire weekend.
It's not really going to do anything, I don't feel. Like I say, hopefully it'll make life easier and for the police and everything.
Mayor Stan Mills shared they will try this idea for 2025 and likely codify it for next year. In Rehoboth Beach, Zakia Jennings, Coast TV News.
Washers, dryers, refrigerators, lights, they're household essentials. And with newly imposed tariffs, those and many other appliances, they are going to cost you more. Coast TV News reporter Emma Aiken is live in Lewis. Emma, you're at an appliance store who says it's a tough road ahead.
Charlie, so far we've covered tariffs on alcohol and tariffs on coffee and sweets. But this isn't your $12 cocktail or your $6 coffee. Here at Lighthouse of Lewis, these are hundreds or $1,000 purchases. Tariffs on items like this, they may just leave you blinded by the costs.
Lights out for low prices. Andrew Scrutchfield with Lighthouse of Lewis says almost every item in the store will be hurt by tariffs.
It's something that we can't exactly control because, the cost gets
bumped down from the manufacturer to us, and then ultimately the consumer at the end of the day. So it's a tough road ahead, and it's hard to plan for it accordingly.
And every appliance is made up of lots of parts.
A lot of those base electrical components, the wire and the circuitry inside, usually comes from overseas. That isn't really made here. So that basically on every level it gets affected, whether it's the entire fixture or just the component.
And down the road at Millman's Appliances, for Gary Corman, the same rings true.
It's going to impact us all as consumers. I mean, across the globe, we're all going to be affected. Unfortunately, that's the reality of being a consumer in today's market.
In the past several weeks, Corman says he's buying as many appliances from within the U.S. as he can to help the community shop tariff-free. For now, the tariff effect is a new reality, and for these businesses, this time it may not come out in the wash.
The Lighthouse of Lewis says they're very aware that for some people, that home improvement project might just be put on pause for now, and a group of customers may not be stopping in for the time being. Live in Lewis, Emma Aiken, Coast TV News.
This brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, what's your biggest concern when it comes to tariffs?
Let's take a look at the updated results from last news hour. Take a look at your screen. 40% say market dropped, 20% have no concerns, 39% say product prices, and only 1% say fewer options.
If you haven't voted yet, it's easy to do. Go to coasttv.com or use the Coast TV mobile app, and we will show you updated results on Coast TV News at 11. Happening now, Ocean City is updating its fiscal year 2025 budget. The town is expecting a $670,000 drop in revenue from room tax, income tax, and parking. Now, to cover the gap and pay for new expenses like a new ambulance, health insurance increases, and more, they're also got to deal with repairs, other things like that. Well, they're going to use $2 million from last year's reserves. Officials say most of that money was already set aside and will not affect the town's main reserve fund. This meeting began at 6.
Staying in Ocean City, the town is cracking down on profanity-filled displays on the boardwalk with an ordinance up tonight. Town leaders say they've seen an uptick in complaints over explicit material on the boardwalk, so officials are eyeing a town-wide ban on inappropriate materials that are displayed outdoors. Now, shops would be able to sell these items as long as they have warning signs posted outside of their store.
We had been trying over the years to do it voluntarily. Some stores would work with us. Some, quite frankly, it was like playing whack-a-mole. And so this ordinance will allow us to actually enforce that.
The City Council is expected to vote on this tonight. If passed, it will go into effect immediately.
And also in Ocean City, Public Works will start spring hydrant flushing on Sunday, April 20th. Mark that down if you live down that way, because it's going to run late night into early morning and go from south to north, beginning on South 1st Street. You might experience discolored water, but none of it is harmful. Just run cold water until the water runs clear. Flushing should end by April 24th.
Let's go ahead and take a live look outside into Ocean City. Our First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams joins us now with a look at our forecast. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, Maddie. And right now, we're continuing to watch out for hit and miss spotty showers that are going to continue to push through the region. We'll stay in the mid-40s. But the amount of rain we received, nearly an inch for us officially in Georgetown, just over that actually in Ocean City. But conditions are deteriorating quickly for us. We have the rain that still can continue to push across the area. But out towards the shore, we have gale wind warnings in effect right now. This is making for volatile situation and very choppy waters along the entire, basically all of Sussex County, and particularly near the beach areas from Lewis to Rehoboth Beach, Ocean View down to Fenwick Island. And that's where we're looking out for 45-mile-per-hour winds. Even where it's a little bit better with a small craft advisory near West Ocean City, we are still talking about very choppy conditions with at least 25-mile-per-hour winds. Plus, we have the rain that's continued to push through, and this quasi-stationary frontal boundary is making the waters even more choppy, and that'll continue to be a problem going into tomorrow, Charlie.
Thank you, Paul. We have new information on the dead whale that was spotted in the Indian River Bay. According to the Murr Institute, the whale seen on your screen now is still in the bay. Murr was able to collect samples on Friday, but because of the crazy weather Paul was just talking about and the tides, they're not going to attempt to tow it until Wednesday. And speaking of Murr, the Murr Institute is gearing up for its annual yard sale. They're accepting donations from April 15th to May 8th, and the sale is scheduled for May 10th. Funds raised support marine animal rescue and their outreach programs.
It's actually been one of the busiest years for animal rescues on the coast. According to the National Aquarium Stranding Response Team, 13 gray seals, 6 harp seals, 2 harbor seals, and 2 common dolphins have been saved on the Delmarva coast in just this year. And we're just getting started this evening.
A new scam targeting donations, what you need to know.
Coming up, you're going to need to know where I'm pinpointing where this precipitation is and where it's going and when it will finally come to an end.
The north side of the Indian River Inlet finally reopens. Why the project isn't done, though. We're back in just 60 seconds.
This is Coast TV News at 6.
After months of reconstruction, the north side of the Indian River Inlet, it's now open to the public once again.
But one hazard is still on the beach to look out for. Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zapay shows us what you can expect when entering the renovated beach.
Although it's raining along the coast, Brian Whalen still enjoys fishing near the Indian River Inlet and was glad to see the north side finally reopen.
My wife and I walked down there yesterday and we think it looked really beautiful.
Last year, waves crashed through the sand and entered the highway. And after months of the north side being closed due to reconstruction, people can now enjoy the beach again. Although it's ready for public use, people should still be cautious of some hazards.
Now, all along the north side of the Indian River beach are these things called scarping, which is caused by erosion, which is deep drop-offs when you're walking towards the waves. So if you plan to come to this reopened beach, be sure you're aware of these drop-offs.
As Whalen fishes along the Indian River Inlet, he's happy to see all that work paid off.
I watched them build it over the winter time, and they did a really nice job. It's perfect. The beach looks nice. Really nice work.
With a wall of sand being put in place to stop the waves from crashing near the highway, Whalen hopes this will hold up the waves for years to come. The second phase plans to be done by the Army Corps of Engineers, which involves dredging this fall. I'm Kevin Zapay, Indian River Inlet, Coast TV News.
Take a look at your Gulf forecast. Well, I wouldn't recommend it, but somebody will want to try. It's going to be sunny, but look, not so good. It's going to be chilly, breezy, cold, and freezing in the morning time. I'm just saying. Quite frankly, it's been dismal all day long, and we're going to stay that way for the rest of the night with spotty showers kicking in. And then for the next couple of days, it's going to be clear, but man, is it going to feel cold. Temperatures right now in the 40s. We are expecting hit and miss spot sprinkles is what I'd really call it, more so than showers. But all this is beginning to wind down even as we speak. However, we're at 46 degrees in Georgetown, Del Mar, and Redden. We're at 47 degrees right now in Milton. First and foremost, we have the concern for the winds. Choppy conditions along the shore. A gale wind warning is in effect until 10 o'clock Tuesday. From now till Tuesday, watching out for 40-mile-per-hour winds along the coast. That's why they're having problems with trying to get that whale going and get the samples and all that kind of stuff, and why it's a problem with moving it, because the waters are just too choppy, even down towards Ocean City, where it's not quite as windy, but we're still talking about 25-mile-per-hour winds. So the winds and the cold, that's our initial concern. The precipitation is coming to an end, but we still have some leftover drizzle. It's a light rain that's going to continue to feather its way across the Delmarva Peninsula, because behind it, we have a pocket of extremely cold air that will come knocking on our door. The amount of rain we've experienced, just shy of an inch in Georgetown, just shy over an inch for us officially in Ocean City. But let's break it down to some other locations. We've gone up a little bit in all of our locations by about 0.02. So we're approaching an inch and a half in Greenwood, Slaughter Beach, and Prime Hook. 1 1/3 or a little bit more than that in Ellendale, Stockley, as well as Milford. And we're dead center on that right now in Seaford. Some other locations that we've been tracking throughout the night, we're over an inch, we're at an inch of Del Mar and just over that everywhere else from Lewis, Laurel Harbison, Dagsboro, Indian River Inlet, and Rehoboth Beach at 1.02. Now, what does that mean for our drought? Well, the bottom line here is that so far, for the month, we're in a new month, but we're shy of it. But for as far as the year is concerned, we're in an excess of nearly an inch and a half, and we need that precipitation. Cutting winds for tomorrow. It's going to be 50 degrees. It won't feel like it. 50 in Cambridge, It won't feel like it. And we're looking for a high of 50 in Ocean City. That's right. It won't feel like it. Why? Winds out of the northwest at 15 to 20 miles per hour. In fact, we've already dropped by 12 degrees from just yesterday, and the wind chill factor will be in the mid-20s for Wednesday. So Wednesday, we're concerned about a freeze watch is in effect for our entire viewing area. That means we're watching out for the potential of frost at the very least, and we have at least a chance, particularly Wednesday, for a light freeze to kick in for us. That's just how cold we are going to be. So grab your hat, grab your coat, you're going to need it. Here is a look at your 7-day forecast.
All right, Paul, thank you. New tonight, if you get a Venmo request claiming to be from Humane Animal Partners, it's a scam. On your screen now is what HAP posted to social media today. HAP warns scammers are impersonating them and asking for money via Venmo. Now, the animal shelter says don't ever accept those requests. They will never use Venmo to ask for money.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good evening. The rain hasn't stopped all action on Delmarva. Tonight we have boys volleyball action with the Sussex Academy looking for their first win while facing an Indian River squad looking for their third straight victory. Check out highlights tonight on DSN's The Final Score at 10:30 p.m. To minor league baseball, we are 1 day away from the Delmarva Shorebirds home opener versus the Fayetteville Woodpeckers. The Shorebirds are hoping to earn their first win of the season, coming in at 0-3 on the year, while Fayetteville enters at 1-2 on the season. Come out to Purdue Stadium for the 7:05 start or watch the action at home live on DSN, the first of 25 home games coming to you for free over the air in our expanded coverage for 2025. And tonight, the NCAA Men's Basketball National Championship is up for grabs as Florida faces Houston. Tonight, the Gators are searching for their third championship in program history as they have a 2-1 record in this game. On the other hand, the Cougars are aiming to capture their first ever national championship as they make their third appearance. The title game begins at 8:50 p.m. from San Antonio, Texas. That'll do it for sports. Have a great night.
Soaring Over the Shore is sponsored by Morse Roofing and Siding.
Just outside of Milford, Abbott's Mill epitomizes history and education.
In 1795, a sawmill was built here. It became a grist mill from 1808 to 1960, a major part of Delaware's agricultural economy. The mill is still available for tours, but there is so much more here. From trails through the woods to open areas for picnics and a nature center, and the Abbott's Pond itself just across the way, this piece of property showcases old Sussex in an incredibly interactive way.
The Food Bank of Delaware announced that they are holding a spring senior health fair in a few weeks. The event will provide resources and support for seniors to improve their health, their well-being. Organizers say 30 vendors will be in attendance. Participants will also receive free pantry essentials. There is no cost to attend. The fair will be held on April 29th from 10 a.m. to noon at the Food Bank's Milford location.
Take a look at our Bay Health camera in Dover at 45 degrees right now with the winds at about 12 miles per hour. Listen, it's been a kind of a dreary, very much a Monday-looking day, and it's staying a Monday-looking night, okay? We're looking for the rain. The majority of the rain is going to be carried to our south and out of the way, but we'll have some leftover light showers to heavy drizzle continue throughout the night, so it's just going to stay moist all night long. By the way, our umbrella giveaway winner is Thomas Trader of Millsboro. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, sponsored by the law offices of Bruckstead, Mandelis, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your 10-day forecast. Tuesday is going to be windy and cold, and then Wednesday is just going to be cold and cold because it'll be like below freezing to start the day off.
All right, Paul, thank you, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 6.
Cold and cold. For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The NBC Nightly News is up next.
And we're going to see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 11. Have a great evening.